The phone rang at 9:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. Mom's name lit up the screen. I hadn't talked to her in 3 months. Hadn't talked to any of them, really. Not since Dad's birthday dinner where they'd spent 2 hours discussing my sister Rachel's promotion and asked me exactly 0 questions about my life. I almost didn't answer. My spouse, Jordan, looked up from their book. Your mom? Yeah. You gonna get it? I stared at the phone. Let it ring twice more, then picked up. Hey, Mom. Daniel. Oh my goodness. I was starting to think you'd changed your number. Her voice had that forced cheerfulness she used when she was pretending everything was fine. How are you? We haven't heard from you in ages. Ages. 3 months was ages now. I'm good, busy with work. Of course, of course. Well, I'm calling about Christmas Eve. You're coming, right? We're doing the usual thing at our house. Your Aunt Linda and Uncle Tom will be there, your cousins, Rachel, obviously. What time? I asked, cutting off her guest list recitation. 6 o'clock. Oh, and Daniel? If you're seeing anyone, feel free to bring them. We'd love to meet whoever you're dating these days. I looked down at my left hand. The white gold band caught the lamplight. 7 months I'd been wearing it. 7 months married to the person sitting 3 feet away from me. Sure, Mom. I'll bring my spouse. There was a pause. But not the right kind of pause. Not a shocked pause. Just a regular conversational pause. Wonderful. We'll set an extra place. See you Christmas Eve, sweetie. She hung up before I could clarify. Before I could repeat that word. Spouse. She hadn't caught it. Or she'd heard it and her brain had auto-corrected it to friend or date, or literally anything else that fit her narrative better. Jordan raised an eyebrow. Spouse? She didn't notice. You literally said spouse. I know what I said. She set the phone down. She heard what she wanted to hear. So we're going to Christmas? I thought about it. Thought about walking into that house with Jordan. Thought about the faces when I told them, really told them. Yeah, I said. We're going. Jordan closed their book. You're really doing this. I'm really doing this. They're going to lose their minds. Probably. Your mom's going to cry. Definitely. Your dad's going to get that vein in his forehead. The one that throbs when he's trying not to yell? Yeah. Jordan was quiet for a moment. Then, are you sure? Because we can just keep doing what we've been doing. Living our lives. Not engaging. That was the thing. We'd been living our lives. A whole, complete life. And they had no idea. We got married on May 14th, a Saturday. Perfect weather, 72 degrees and sunny. Outdoor ceremony at a vineyard 2 hours south. Jordan wore a custom navy suit. I wore a dress that cost more than my first car. We had a string quartet, a 5-tier cake, an open bar that nearly bankrupted us. 150 people attended. My co-workers. Jordan's entire extended family. Our college friends. The neighbors from our first apartment. My high school English teacher who'd always believed in me. Jordan's former boss. People who'd flown in from 3 different states. 150 people who knew my birthday. Knew what I did for work. Knew Jordan's name. Knew us. Not one person from my biological family. Not because we couldn't afford more guests. Not because it was intimate. Because I didn't invite them. I didn't tell them I was engaged. Didn't tell them we were planning a wedding. Didn't tell them anything. And you know what the wildest part was? They never asked. Last Thanksgiving, Rachel had spent 45 minutes showing everyone photos from her trip to Cancun. Mom asked to see every single picture. Made Rachel tell the story behind each one. I'd mentioned I'd taken a weekend trip to Portland. That's nice, honey, Mom had said, already turning to ask Dad about the garage door that needed fixing. I'd been to Portland to meet Jordan's parents, to ask their permission to propose. Old-fashioned, maybe, but it mattered to Jordan. I'd bought the ring 2 weeks later. Proposed on a Tuesday night in our apartment, no grand gesture, just me on one knee in our kitchen asking if they wanted to spend forever with me. Jordan cried. Said yes. We ordered pizza and called everyone who mattered. I didn't call my family. Christmas Eve rolled around eventually. I'd thought about it constantly since Mom's call, rehearsed the conversation in my head, planned what I'd say. Jordan was nervous. They'd picked their outfit 4 times, changed 3 times, finally settled on dark jeans and a green sweater that brought out their eyes. Do I look okay? They asked for the 5th time. You look perfect. Your family's going to hate me. They're not going to hate you. They're going to be too busy being shocked to hate anyone. We pulled up to my parents' house at 6:14 p.m., 14 minutes late. Not on purpose, traffic on the interstate had been hell. The house looked exactly like it did every year. White lights along the roofline, wreath on the door, Mom's car in the driveway next to Dad's truck, Rachel's sedan parked on the street. I could hear music and voices through the walls. Aunt Linda's distinctive laugh. Uncle Tom's booming voice. Jordan reached for my hand. Last chance to back out. Not backing out. Okay, then let's go give them the best Christmas present ever. The truth. We walked up the driveway. I rang the doorbell instead of just walking in like I used to. Felt more appropriate somehow. Like I was a guest now. Which, in a way, I was. Rachel opened the door. My older sister. 34, perfect hair, perfect life, perfect everything. She was wearing a red dress that probably cost $300 and holding a wine glass that was definitely not her first. She looked at me. Looked at Jordan. Back to me. Hi? Hey, Rachel, this is Jordan. Jordan, my sister Rachel. Rachel's smile was confused but polite. The kind you give strangers. Nice to meet you. Come in, come in. Mom, Daniel's here. We stepped inside. The house smelled like cinnamon and pine. Christmas music played from the Bluetooth speaker. The living room was packed. Aunt Linda and Uncle Tom on the couch. My cousins Emma and Jake by the fireplace. Dad in his recliner. Mom coming around the corner from the kitchen. Daniel. Mom pulled me into a hug that lasted exactly 2.3 seconds. Standard mom hug. Quick, efficient, done. Then she turned to Jordan. And you must be Daniel's friend. Here we go. Not a friend, I said clearly. Loud enough that people started turning. My spouse. We got married in May. The room did this thing where sound just stops. Like someone hit a mute button on reality. Mom's smile stayed frozen on her face. You're... what? My spouse. Jordan and I got married 7 months ago. The smile cracked. Fell. Her mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. Aunt Linda stood up from the couch. You're married? 7 months now. I held up my left hand. The wedding band caught the Christmas lights. Jordan held up theirs too. Uncle Tom laughed. That nervous, uncomfortable laugh people do when they think something might be a joke but aren't sure. Good one, Daniel. You almost had us there. Not a joke. Jordan's voice was steady, calm. We got married May 14th at Cedar Ridge Vineyard. 150 guests. Open bar, string quartet. The living room went silent again. Different this time. Heavier. Dad stood up from his recliner. Slowly. His face was doing that thing where it got red from the collar up. The vein in his forehead started pulsing. You had a wedding, he said. Each word precise, controlled. Without us. Correct. Why? One word. Loud enough that I saw Emma flinch. I looked at him. At all of them. Mom with her frozen expression. Rachel with her wine glass halfway to her mouth. Aunt Linda standing there like someone had paused her. Because I didn't want you there. The room erupted. Everyone talking at once. Yelling. Demanding answers. Mom's voice cut through. How could you do this? We're your family. Are you? That stopped her. Stopped everyone. Are you my family? I asked again. Because families know each other. Families show up. Families give a shit. Language, Mom said automatically. I almost laughed. That's what you're worried about right now? My language? Rachel finally set down her wine glass. Daniel, this is insane. You can't just get married without telling anyone. I told people. 150 people, just not you. But we're your family. You're my relatives. There's a difference. Aunt Linda's voice was shrill. I can't believe you're being so cruel. After everything we've done for you. And that's when it happened. The moment I'd been waiting for without even knowing it. Aunt Linda looked right at me, right at Jordan, back to me, and said, in front of everyone, the words that would prove my entire point. I just can't believe you're still single. The room went dead silent. Jordan's hand tightened around mine. Aunt Linda's face started changing, realization creeping in. Still single, I repeated softly. I just told you I'm married, 7 months married, showed you my wedding ring, introduced you to my spouse, and your immediate reaction is that you can't believe I'm still single. Her face went from red to white. I didn't mean, you weren't listening, not even a little bit. You heard what you wanted to hear, just like you always do. Mom tried to intervene. Aunt Linda just misspoke. Did she? Or did she just prove exactly why I didn't invite any of you? I looked around the room. At all these people who were supposed to know me, love me, care about me. When's my birthday? I asked Aunt Linda. Silence. You don't know, do you? It's summer? June? March 7th? I'm 32 years old. You've known me my entire life and you don't know when my birthday is. Uncle Tom shifted uncomfortably. Okay, we don't remember every little detail. What do I do for work? More silence. Anyone? What's my job? Uncle Tom ventured. Sales? I'm a corporate lawyer, have been for 8 years. I work at Henderson and Associates. I made partner 2 years ago. I turned to Emma, my cousin, 26. We'd been close as kids. What kind of law do I practice? She looked panicked. I don't. Contract law, specifically employment contracts. I've told you this multiple times. I looked at my own mother. What's Jordan's name? I've been with them for 4 years. Mentioned them dozens of times. We've been living together for 2 years. What's their name? Mom's eyes were filling with tears. The weapon she always used. Daniel, please. You don't know. None of you know. Because none of you have ever asked. About my life, my work, my relationships. Nothing. Rachel tried to step in. That's not fair. We ask about your life. Last Christmas, you told me I needed to settle down. Stop being married to my career. Remember that? Her face flushed. I was trying to help. I was already engaged. Had been for 6 months. The ring was in my pocket because I didn't want to deal with you all trying to take over. I pulled out my phone. Opened my photos. The wedding album I'd looked at probably 1,000 times. This is what you missed. I held it up. The ceremony photo. Jordan and me under the flower arch, kissing while 150 people cheered. Mom reached for the phone. I pulled it back. This isn't for you. You weren't there. These memories aren't yours. Dad's vein was throbbing harder now. How many people did you say? 150. 150 people and you couldn't invite your own family? I invited people who actually know me. People who would notice if I disappeared. People who remember my birthday without Facebook reminding them. I swiped through more photos. My college friends were there. Jordan's family, my co-workers, our neighbors. The barista from the coffee shop we go to every Sunday who knows our order by heart. Swipe. My high school English teacher, Mrs. Patterson, was there. Hadn't seen her in 10 years. But she remembered me. Knew I'd gone to law school. Asked about my life. Actually listened to the answers. Swipe. Jordan's parents. Who asked my permission to call me their son-in-law. Who drove 8 hours to be there. Who cried during the vows. I looked at my parents. Where were you? Oh, right. You didn't know. Because you never asked. Mom was full crying now. How could you embarrass us like this? In front of everyone? And there it was. Not, I'm sorry we missed your wedding. Not, I'm sorry we didn't know you. Just, how could you embarrass us? I'm not embarrassing you. You're embarrassing yourselves. Jake, my younger cousin, had been quiet this whole time. 23, still in college. He spoke up now. Dude, you really got married without telling anyone? I told 150 people. None of them are in this room. That's cold. You know what's cold? Going 3 months without anyone checking if I'm alive? That's cold. Mom was still crying. Dad was staring at the wall. Rachel was refilling her wine glass. Aunt Linda looked like she wanted to disappear into the couch. And then Emma spoke up. My cousin Emma, the youngest of us all. 26 and sharp as hell. Can I see the photos? Everyone looked at her. The wedding photos. Can I see them? I hesitated, then handed her the phone. She scrolled through slowly. The ceremony, the reception, the first dance, the cake cutting, Jordan's sister's toast, my coworker David's embarrassing speech about the time I won our office March Madness bracket. Emma looked at each photo carefully, then handed the phone back. She turned to her mother, to Aunt Linda, and said, "He's right." Emma, "No, Mom, he's right. I don't know his birthday. I didn't know he was a lawyer. I couldn't tell you what his spouse's name is even though I've heard it 3 times tonight already." She looked around the room. None of us know him. We show up to these things and talk at him, not with him. When's the last time any of us asked Daniel a real question? Not how's work while we're already looking at our phones. A real question. Silence. That's what I thought. Emma walked to the coat closet, grabbed her jacket. I'm leaving. Emma, you don't have to. I do, actually, because this is embarrassing. Not for Daniel. For us. She looked at me. Your wedding looked beautiful. You looked happy. I'm sorry we weren't there, but honestly, we didn't deserve to be. She walked out. The door closed behind her. The silence that followed was deafening. I looked at Jordan. They nodded. We were done here. We're leaving too, I said. Daniel, wait. Mom reached for me. I stepped back. No. I came here because you invited me. I brought my spouse like you asked. I told you the truth. That's all I owed you. But we need to talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. You're upset that you missed my wedding. I'm upset that you wouldn't have noticed if I'd disappeared entirely. We're both upset. Great. Merry Christmas. Jordan and I walked to the door. My hand was on the knob when Rachel's voice stopped me. Did you really not want us there? At all? I turned back. She looked smaller somehow. Vulnerable in a way I'd never seen her. I wanted you there, I said honestly. I wanted all of you there. But I wanted the versions of you that actually gave a damn about me. And those people don't exist. We left, walked to the car, got in, sat there for a moment in silence. Then Jordan started laughing. Not mean laughter. Just release. That was brutal, they said. Yeah. Regret it? No. Your Aunt Linda's face when she realized what she'd said. I know. Are you okay? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Yeah, I said. I think I am. We drove home. Our home. The apartment we'd picked out together, where all our wedding photos hung on the walls, where our life existed independently of anyone's approval or acknowledgement. My phone started buzzing before we even hit the freeway. Mom, how could you embarrass us like that? Dad, you owe everyone an apology. Rachel, you made Christmas about you. Aunt Linda, you're tearing this family apart. I turned the phone off, tossed it in the cup holder. One text came through before it shut down completely. From Emma. You deserved better. Congrats on your marriage. Sorry it took me so long to see it. I smiled. 1 out of 10 wasn't bad, better than 0. The next morning, I woke up to 43 text messages. Jordan was already up, making coffee in the kitchen. I could hear them humming that jazz song they always hummed when processing stress. I scrolled through my phone, still in bed. My mother had sent 7 messages, each one more desperate than the last. We need to talk about last night. Then, you can't just drop a bomb like that and leave. Then, call me when you wake up. The last one just said, Daniel, please. Dad's messages were shorter, more controlled. Your mother is very upset. You owe us an explanation. This is not how family treats each other. Rachel had gone full guilt trip mode. Her first text accused me of making Christmas about myself. Then she mentioned Mom crying all night. The final one just said, "Hope you're happy." Aunt Linda's texts were the most unhinged. She claimed I was disrespectful, that she'd raised me better than this, and that I'd always been difficult, but this crossed a line. That last part made me laugh out loud. She raised me? The woman who saw me maybe 6 times a year and half those times forgot my name? Uncle Tom sent one message. "Kid, you went nuclear back there." My cousin Jake's text just said, "Bro, that was wild. Respect though." And then, at the bottom, 3 messages from Emma. The first was from last night. "You deserved better. Congrats on your marriage. Sorry it took me so long to see it." The second came in at 2:47 a.m. "Mom's losing it. Keeps saying I embarrassed her by leaving. Told her she embarrassed herself. We're not speaking right now." The third arrived 20 minutes ago. "Can we get coffee sometime? Just us? I want to hear about the wedding and apologize properly." I screenshot that last one and sent it to Jordan. They appeared in the doorway holding 2 mugs. Emma. Emma. The one who walked out? Yep, wants to get coffee. Apologize. Jordan handed me a mug and sat on the edge of the bed. "You gonna go?" "Maybe, I don't know. Part of me thinks it's a trap." "A trap?" "Like Mom sent her, to soften me up or whatever." Emma didn't seem like the type. "No," I admitted. "She didn't." I sipped my coffee. It was perfect. Jordan always made it perfect. 2 sugars, splash of cream, exactly how I liked it. My family didn't know how I took my coffee. "I'm going to reply to one person," I said. "Just one." "Who?" "Emma." I typed, "Coffee sounds good. When?" Her response came back in 30 seconds. "Today, 2 p.m., that place on Morrison you used to like?" She remembered the coffee shop, the one I'd mentioned probably 3 years ago, once, in passing. "Today at 2, I told Jordan. "Morrison Street." "Want me to come?" "No, I think I need to do this alone." "Okay, but text me every 20 minutes so I know you're not being kidnapped and forced to attend a family intervention." I smiled. "Deal." The rest of the morning my phone kept buzzing. More messages. Then the voicemail started. Mom's voice, teary and breaking. "Daniel, sweetie, please call me back. I don't understand what happened. Why didn't you tell us? We would have been so happy for you. Please, just call me." Dad's voice, stern and controlled. "Daniel, your mother is distraught. Whatever issues you have with us, we can discuss them like adults. But you need to call her back. Today." Rachel's voice, annoyed and superior. "I don't know what kind of statement you were trying to make last night, but it was childish. Mom and Dad don't deserve this. Call them back and apologize." I deleted each one after listening. Didn't save them. Didn't need to. At 1:45 p.m. I left the apartment. Jordan kissed me goodbye. "Remember, text every 20 minutes. "I will. And if she tries any funny business, I'll leave immediately." The coffee shop on Morrison was exactly as I remembered it. Small, indie, the kind of place that served coffee in mismatched mugs and had local art on the walls that never sold. Emma was already there. Sitting in the back corner, 2 mugs in front of her. She'd ordered for both of us. I slid into the chair across from her. Looked at the mug. Black coffee, 2 sugars. "You remembered," I said. "Of course I remembered. You told me once, 3 years ago, after Uncle Mike's funeral." She pushed the mug toward me. "I remember a lot of things. I just didn't pay attention to the fact that you were telling me things nobody else was hearing." I took a sip. "Perfect. How's your mom?" I asked. "Furious. She thinks I betrayed her by leaving last night. Told me I made her look bad in front of everyone." "I'm sorry." Don't apologize. She made herself look bad. We all did." Emma wrapped her hands around her own mug. "I need you to know something. Last night, when you were doing that quiz thing, asking about your birthday and your job, yeah? I didn't know the answers either. I was standing there, mentally trying to remember, and I couldn't. And I realized I've been going to these family things for years, seeing you, talking at you, and I don't know you at all. She looked up at me. Her eyes were red. She'd been crying. When you showed those wedding photos, I felt sick, because 150 people knew you well enough to celebrate with you, and I wasn't one of them. Your high school teacher was there, a barista was there, but not me. Not any of us. Emma, I'm not asking you to forgive me, or them. I just wanted to say it out loud. To you. We failed. I failed. And I'm sorry. I didn't know what to say. This wasn't what I'd expected. I'd expected defensiveness, excuses. The standard family playbook of, that's just how we are, and you're being too sensitive. Thank you, I finally said. Can I ask you something? Sure. When did you decide that you weren't going to tell us about the wedding? I thought back. When I got engaged. I came to Thanksgiving dinner with the ring in my pocket. I was going to announce it. Do the whole thing. Then Rachel spent an hour showing everyone her vacation photos, and Mom asked me one question the entire night. What question? She asked if I wanted more mashed potatoes. Emma closed her eyes. Fuck. Yeah. So you just decided right then? Not immediately. I gave it a few more months, mentioned Jordan a few times. Told Dad I was thinking about buying a house. Told Mom I'd met someone special. Nobody asked follow-up questions. Nobody wanted details. So I stopped giving them. How long were you engaged before the wedding? 8 months. Jesus. 8 months and nobody noticed? I wore the ring to Sunday brunch, 3 different times. Nobody said anything. Emma put her head in her hands. We're monsters. You're not monsters. You're just not interested. And that's okay. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done. She looked up. Done? Done trying to fit into a family that doesn't have space for me. Done waiting for people to care. Done being hurt every time they don't. Is there any way back from this? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Maybe, for some of you. On my terms, not theirs. What does that look like? I don't know yet. But it doesn't look like Sunday dinners where I sit in the corner while everyone talks about everyone else. It doesn't look like holidays where I'm an afterthought. It doesn't look like me explaining myself while they nod and then immediately forget. Emma nodded slowly. That's fair. Can I ask you something now? Yeah. Why did you leave last night? You could have stayed. Let me be the bad guy. Why risk your relationship with your mom? She smiled sadly. Because you were right. And someone needed to say it out loud. To actually validate you instead of making you the villain. Your mom's going to make your life hell. Probably. But I'm 26 years old. I need to start making my own choices about who deserves my energy. We sat in silence for a moment. The coffee shop hummed around us. Someone's laptop played soft indie music. The espresso machine hissed. The wedding looked beautiful, by the way, Emma said. In the photos. Jordan looked happy. You looked happy. I was. We were. It was the best day of my life. Tell me about it. What? The wedding. I want to hear about it, if you're willing to share. I pulled out my phone. Opened the album. Not to show her. Just to remember. We got married at a vineyard, May 14th. It was 72 degrees and sunny, not a cloud. Jordan wore this navy suit that was custom made. I wore a dress that cost more than my first car but made me feel like a princess. Emma smiled. You wore a dress? I wore a dress. Ivory lace, off the shoulder, the whole thing. Jordan cried when they saw me walking down the aisle. Who walked you down? Jordan's dad. He asked if he could. Said it would be an honor. I cried when he asked. Emma's eyes were getting watery again. That's beautiful. The ceremony was 20 minutes. We wrote our own vows. Jordan's were better than mine. They always are with words. Then we had cocktail hour on the terrace overlooking the vines. The reception was in this barn they'd renovated. String lights everywhere, 5-tier cake, a live band. What did you dance to? First dance? The Way You Look Tonight. Frank Sinatra version. Jordan's choice. They said it was the first song they thought of when they met me. That's disgustingly romantic. I know. I married a sap. We both laughed. It felt good. Normal. My coworker David gave this speech, I continued. He told this story about the first week I started at the firm. I'd won our office March Madness bracket. Beat everyone, including the senior partners. David said he knew right then I was going to be successful because I was unafraid to beat people who had power over me. Did you get in trouble? Almost. But then I used my winnings to buy lunch for the entire office. Made it a celebration instead of a competition. Emma shook her head, smiling. You're smarter than all of us. Not smarter, just tired of playing games. My phone buzzed. Text from Jordan. 20-minute check-in. You alive? I typed back. Alive. Actually having a good conversation. Tell me more, Emma said, about the people who were there. So I did. I told her about Mrs. Patterson, my high school English teacher, who'd believed in me when I wanted to be a writer, who'd driven 3 hours to attend, who'd told me during the reception that she was proud of who I'd become. I told her about Marcus, the barista from our Sunday coffee shop, who'd closed the shop for the day to attend, who'd brought his boyfriend, who'd given us a gift card to his shop with a note that said, 52 weeks of free Sunday coffee for the newlyweds. I told her about Jordan's parents who'd welcomed me into their family without hesitation, who'd paid for the flowers because they wanted to contribute, who'd danced with me and called me their child. I told her about 150 people who knew my name, my birthday, my job, my coffee order, my fears, my dreams. 150 people who'd shown up. Emma listened to all of it. Didn't interrupt, didn't make it about her. Just listened. When I finished, she said quietly, we really missed something special. Yeah, you did. Is Jordan here, in Portland? We live here, have for 2 years. 2 years. Jesus, she rubbed her face. What else don't I know? A lot. But that's not on me to fix anymore. No, it's not. She finished her coffee. Can I ask one more thing? Sure. Would you be willing to have coffee again, like this, just us? I want to actually know you, not the version of you I made up in my head. The real you. I thought about it. Emma had walked out last night, had validated me, had shown up today to apologize, had listened. Yeah, I said. I'd like that. Really? Really? But Emma, I need you to know something. I'm not doing the whole family thing anymore. Sunday dinners, holiday parties, none of it. If you want to know me, it's just you and me, not you as a representative of them. I understand. And if you tell them things about my life, about Jordan, about anything, we're done. This only works if you can separate me from them. I can do that. I will do that. We exchanged numbers. Real numbers, not just family group chat connections. Made plans for coffee in 2 weeks. As I was leaving, Emma said, for what it's worth, I'm glad you got married. And I'm glad you were happy, even if we weren't there to see it. I smiled. Thanks. Walking back to the apartment, I texted Jordan. Coffee went well. Emma's out. Everyone else is still in timeout. Jordan. 1 down, 9 to go. Me. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. 1 is enough for now. When I got home, Jordan had made dinner. Pasta, my favorite. We ate on the couch watching a documentary about penguins. Normal, domestic, ours. My phone buzzed one more time that night. Rachel. Mom wants to know if you'll come to brunch Sunday. She wants to talk. Just the 4 of us. I looked at the message for a long time. Then I turned my phone off. Not tonight. Maybe not ever. But definitely not tonight. I didn't go to Sunday brunch. Or the next one. Or the one after that. 2 weeks became a month. A month became 3. 3 became 6. My phone kept buzzing. Less frequently as time went on, but consistently enough that I knew they hadn't forgotten. They'd just shifted tactics. Mom's messages evolved, started desperate. Please call me, I miss you. Then hurt. I don't understand why you're doing this. Then angry. This silent treatment is childish. Then back to desperate. It's been 4 months. Surely we can talk. Dad only texted twice, both times short. Your mother misses you. And 3 months later, are you coming to Thanksgiving? I wasn't. Rachel went from angry to manipulative. Mom's birthday is next week. You should at least send a card. Then, when I didn't, you've really hurt her, you know. The guilt trips were constant, predictable, exhausting even in their absence because I knew they were happening. Jordan watched me delete another voicemail without listening. You okay? Yeah, just mom again? What's the count now? Voicemails? 37 since Christmas. Jesus. I know. We were in our apartment. Our life. The one that existed completely separate from them. Jordan had gotten a promotion. I'd won a major case at work. We'd adopted a cat named Pepper who hated everyone except us. We were happy, and they had no idea about any of it. Emma and I met for coffee every 3 weeks. She never asked about the family, never pushed for reconciliation, just showed up and wanted to know about me. Real things, my work, my marriage, my life. She told me about her job, her dating disasters, her dreams of moving to Seattle. We became actual friends, not relatives who saw each other at holidays. Friends. At our fourth coffee date, she said something that stuck with me. Mom asked me about you yesterday. I tensed. What did you say? That I hadn't seen you. Which is technically true. I haven't seen you. We just get coffee. Emma, I'm not lying to protect you. I'm maintaining my own boundaries. What we do is separate from them. You asked for that. I'm giving it. Thank you. She's getting desperate, though. Keeps saying the family's falling apart. That it's all your fault. Of course she does. For what it's worth, Jake agrees with you. He doesn't say it out loud, but he's been skipping things too. Said he's tired of the drama. That surprised me. Really? Yeah. You started something. Or maybe you just said out loud what people were already feeling. 6 months became a year. I spent my first wedding anniversary with Jordan at the coast, rented a cabin, walked on the beach, made dinner together, laughed until we couldn't breathe. No one from my family acknowledged the date, because they still didn't know when it was. Rachel got engaged. I found out from Facebook. The post had 200 likes. Mom commented, "So proud of my daughter. Can't wait to help plan this wedding." I felt nothing looking at it. No jealousy, no anger, just nothing. Jordan looked over my shoulder. You gonna congratulate her? No. Okay. That was it. No pressure, no judgment, just acceptance. Year 1 became year 2. The messages slowed significantly. Mom texted maybe once a month. Dad stopped entirely. Rachel's engagement became a wedding I wasn't invited to. Or maybe I was and the invitation got lost. Either way, I didn't go. Emma showed me photos afterward. Rachel looked beautiful. Mom looked proud. The reception was at some fancy hotel downtown. It looked exactly like Mom wanted, Emma said. Rachel didn't get a say in anything. Just like she said. Yeah, your wedding looked better. I smiled. Thanks. I mean it. Rachel looked stressed in every photo. You looked happy in yours. 2 years. 2 full years of silence. Then Mom called on a Tuesday afternoon. I was at work, in the middle of reviewing a contract. Almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Daniel? Hi, Mom. Silence. Like she hadn't expected me to actually answer. I wasn't sure you'd pick up. Neither was I. More silence. Can we talk? She asked. Really talk? That depends. Are you going to tell me I owe you an apology? No, I'm going to tell you that I owe you one. That stopped me. I've been thinking a lot about what you said at Christmas, about the wedding, about everything. Her voice cracked. You were right. About what specifically? All of it. We didn't know you. We didn't try to know you. We just assumed you'd always be there in the background while we focused on Rachel. I didn't say anything. I don't remember your birthday without Facebook reminding me. I didn't know you'd made partner. I still don't really understand what you do for work. And that's not okay. None of it is okay. No, I agreed. It's not. Can we start over, please? I know I don't deserve it, but I want to know you. The real you. Not the version I made up in my head. I thought about it. Really thought about it. Maybe, I said finally. But on my terms. Anything. Coffee, once a month. Just you and me. No dad, no Rachel, no family events. You want to know me? You start by showing up, actually showing up. Okay? And if you miss one meeting or cancel last minute or show up late, we're done. I'm not waiting around for you anymore. I understand. Do you? Because I've spent 2 years building a life without you. I'm not unhappy. I don't need you to be whole. This is a gift, not a guarantee. I understand, she said again. Quieter this time. Okay, first Saturday of next month, 10 a.m., Morrison Street Coffee Shop. I'll be there. We'll see. I hung up before she could say anything else. Jordan found me sitting at my desk staring at the phone. Who was that? Mom. And? She apologized, wants to start over. What did you say? That we could try coffee once a month, just us. How do you feel? I don't know, tired, hopeful, skeptical, all of it? That's fair. Jordan sat on the edge of my desk. You know you don't have to do this, right? I know. You're allowed to just be done. I know that too. But maybe I want to see if she actually means it, if she can actually change. Okay, then we'll see. The first Saturday came. I showed up at 9:58 a.m., sat in the back corner, waited. 10 more a.m. passed, then 10:05. 10:10. At 10:12, Mom rushed through the door, spotted me, hurried over. I'm so sorry. Traffic was terrible. There was an accident on the bridge. 12 minutes late, I said. She stopped, sat down slowly. I know. I should have left earlier. I'm sorry. I watched her carefully. She looked older, tired. Her hair had more gray than I remembered. One chance, Mom. You get one chance at this. I know. Order your coffee. Let's start. That first meeting lasted 45 minutes. We talked about surface things. The weather, her garden, my cat. Nothing deep, nothing painful. But she asked questions. Real questions. And listened to the answers. The second meeting went better. She asked about work. I told her about a case I'd won. She didn't interrupt or change the subject. Just listened. The third meeting, she brought photos. Her and Dad at some anniversary dinner. Rachel's wedding. Aunt Linda's new kitchen remodel. I'm not showing you these to make you jealous, she said. I want you to know what's been happening, even if you weren't there. Okay. Rachel asked about you, at her wedding. What did you tell her? That I didn't know where you were, that it was my fault. I raised an eyebrow. You said that? I did. And I meant it. By month 6, we were talking about real things. Jordan. The wedding. Why I'd made the choice I did. I was hurt, Mom admitted, when I found out. Not just that you got married without us, but that you'd needed to. That we'd made you feel like you had to hide it. I didn't hide it. I just stopped sharing. Because we weren't listening. No, you weren't. She nodded slowly. Can I ask you something? Sure. When did you decide? That you weren't going to tell us? Thanksgiving, 2 years before the wedding. I came with the ring in my pocket, was going to announce it. Then Rachel spent an hour showing vacation photos, and you asked me one question. What question? If I wanted more mashed potatoes. Mom closed her eyes, put her head in her hands. Oh, Daniel. Yeah? I wish I could take it back, all of it. You can't, but you can do better going forward. Can I meet Jordan, officially? I thought about it. Not yet, but maybe someday. Okay, I'll wait. And she did. She kept showing up. Every month. On time, present, asking questions, listening to answers. It wasn't perfect. Sometimes she'd slip into old patterns, make comments about Rachel's life, try to give unsolicited advice. But when I called her on it, she'd stop, apologize, try again. Year 2 became year 3. Dad and I exchanged emails occasionally. Short, polite, distant. He wasn't ready for more. Maybe he never would be. Rachel and I texted on birthdays, generic messages. Happy birthday, hope you're well. Nothing deep, but it was something. Emma remained my real connection, the one who'd actually become family through effort rather than biology. Justina. 4. 3 years after that Christmas Eve, Jordan and I hosted Thanksgiving. Not a big thing, just us, Emma, and her girlfriend Maya. 4 people around our table, the one we'd bought together. In the apartment we'd made home. Emma brought wine. Maya brought homemade rolls. We made turkey and spent the afternoon laughing about nothing important. Halfway through dinner, my phone rang. Mom. I looked at it. Emma saw my face. You can answer, she said. We don't mind. I picked up. Hey, Mom. Hi, sweetheart. I know you're probably having dinner. I just wanted to say I'm thinking about you, and I'm grateful. For the coffee dates, for giving me another chance. Thanks, Mom. Are you with Jordan? Yeah, and Emma. Tell them I said happy Thanksgiving. I will. Daniel, I'm proud of you. I know I should have said it 3 years ago, or 10 years ago, but I'm saying it now. I'm proud of who you are. My throat got tight. Thanks. Okay, I'll let you go. See you next Saturday? Yeah, see you then. I hung up. Jordan reached over and squeezed my hand. She's trying, Emma said. She is. Are you glad that you gave her the chance? I thought about it. Yeah, I think I am. We finished dinner, did dishes together, played board games until midnight. It was simple, easy, right? A month later, I finally agreed to let Mom meet Jordan. We met at a restaurant, neutral territory. Mom showed up 15 minutes early, was sitting at the table when we arrived. She stood up when she saw us, looked at Jordan, then at me. Jordan, she said, it's so nice to finally meet you. Properly, I mean. Jordan shook her hand. Nice to meet you too, Mrs. Chen. Please, call me Susan. We sat, ordered food. Mom asked Jordan about their work, their family, how we met. Real questions. Ones that showed she'd been listening to what I'd told her. Jordan answered patiently, kindly, gave her a chance. At the end of dinner, Mom said, I'm sorry I wasn't at your wedding. I would have liked to have been there. Maybe we'll renew our vows someday, Jordan said. You could come to that. Mom's eyes filled with tears. I'd like that very much. It wasn't perfect. We weren't magically a functional family. But it was something. A small, fragile thing that required constant care and attention. Dad and I had lunch once, just once. It was awkward, stilted. He apologized in his own way, said he should have paid more attention, should have done better. I accepted it. Didn't know if we'd ever be close. But at least we were honest. Rachel and I met for coffee 6 months later. She'd heard about my meetings with Mom. Wanted to understand. I'm jealous, she admitted, that you got out. Out of what? The expectations, the pressure. I'm 36 and I still feel like I'm performing for them. You could stop. Could I? My whole identity is wrapped up in being the good daughter. That sounds exhausting. It is. She stirred her coffee. Your wedding looked beautiful. Emma showed me the photos. Thanks. Why didn't you tell me when you were engaged? Because you would have told Mom, and Mom would have taken over, just like she did with yours. Rachel flinched. Yeah, she did, didn't she? I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just being honest. I know, and you're right. My wedding wasn't mine. It was hers. She looked up. Does it get easier, setting boundaries? Eventually. But you have to actually set them first. I don't know if I can. That's okay too. Everyone's path is different. We didn't become close, but we became honest, which was more than we'd ever been. Present day. 3 years since the Christmas reveal. I'm 35 now. Jordan and I are still happy, still married, still building our life. Mom and I still do coffee once a month. She knows my birthday now, sends cards, asks about work, remembers Jordan's name, shows up. It's not perfect. She still makes mistakes, still slips into old patterns sometimes. But she tries. And that's more than she ever did before. Emma is my family now. Real family. The chosen kind. She was there when Jordan's father died last year. Sat with us at the funeral. Held my hand. Showed up. Dad and I email occasionally. Surface level. But cordial. I don't know if we'll ever be more than that. I'm okay with it either way. Rachel and I text on holidays. Sometimes grab lunch. We're working on it. Slowly. Carefully. The rest of them? Aunt Linda, Uncle Tom, the cousins. Christmas cards. That's it. And that's enough. Last week, Jordan asked me if I regretted it. The way I told them. The Christmas Eve confrontation. No, I said. I don't. Not even a little? Not even a little. They needed to see it, to really see what they'd been doing. Do you think they get it now? Some of them. Maybe. The ones who are willing to do the work. And the ones who aren't? They've got each other, and their version of family. The kind where you show up to events and pretend everything's fine. Where you know facts but not truths. That sounds lonely. It is. But it was lonely being in it too. At least now I'm free. Jordan pulled me close. You know what I love about you? What? You didn't wait for permission to be happy. You just decided to be. Best decision I ever made. Second best. What's first? Marrying me, obviously. I laughed, kissed them. Obviously. That night, I opened our wedding album. The one with 150 people who'd shown up, who'd known my name, my birthday, my dreams. I looked at the photos. Really looked at them. The joy on my face, the love in Jordan's eyes, the celebration of people who'd chosen to be there. My family excluded themselves by never knowing me. I just made it official. And you know what I learned? You don't owe people access to your life just because you share DNA. Family is who shows up, who listens, who remembers. Emma shows up. Jordan shows up. Mom is learning to show up. That's enough. That's more than enough. That's everything.